Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Leland Harper, and I'm a professor of philosophy. If you don't quite know what that is or what we do, basically, I teach at a university, I write books, I do research, and I give presentations to groups like yours. One of the things I like to focus on in philosophy is the study of ideas. And one of the ideas we're going to be talking about today is Black excellence. And we'll talk a little bit about what that means for me and maybe what it can mean for you as well. So let's get into it. When people hear the word excellence, they usually think about trophies, awards, good grades, and those kinds of things. And those things are all excellent. But when I think about Black excellence in particular, it isn't so much about fitting into someone else's box of what excellence is, as much as it is about creating your own path and about achieving greatness on your own terms. So each of the people you see around me, you may not know all of them, you may know some of them, but each of these people have achieved excellence, Black excellence, on their own terms. And that is what I want to talk about today. I didn't always see myself represented in the places that I wanted to be. I was told there was a right way to think, to speak, to succeed. But the truth is, there isn't just one way to be excellent. When I was in graduate school, I was told by one professor that I was not good enough and that I needed to drop out of the program. This was really tough because this is somebody that I looked up to telling me that I didn't belong in the space that I was in. Ultimately, I stuck with it. I continued to show my excellence. I continued to show my intelligence in ways that align with me. And I graduated from that program. I went on to another university. I graduated with another degree. And now I'm at the point where I'm getting invited to speak at universities that rejected me when I was applying to be a student. And a lot of this is because I continued to do things on my own term. I continued to show my excellence in ways that aligned with how I wanted to show my excellence. And so now I'm an author, I'm a professor, I'm a philosopher, I'm a father, I'm a husband. But one of the things that makes me proudest isn't all the titles, all the things that I am, all the things that I've done. It's that I've gotten to where I am by staying true to myself and doing things my way. That, to me, is Black excellence. So I'll share some examples that are maybe a little bit more exciting than my own. But if you're a basketball fan, you know who Steph Curry is. You know that he's the greatest shooter of all time and how excellent he is, right? If we go back 20 years ago, a lot of the shots that he was taking were considered bad shots. But he wanted to continue to show his excellence on his terms, show his basketball excellence in his own way. And he kept taking and making a lot of these shots. And he's become so excellent at this that it has actually changed how we view basketball and changed how teams play basketball and changed how we consider distinguishing between a good shot and a bad shot. So Steph Curry's excellence was so excellent that it changed an entire sport. And most of that is because he continued to do things on his own terms. We also have Austin Clarke. He's a celebrated poet, author. He's from Barbados, spent most of his time living in Toronto. Unfortunately, he passed away about 10 years ago. But we're all familiar with books, and we all know that they usually come in chapters, right? They have about 10, 20 pages and then a new chapter. Austin Clarke said, I don't want to do that. I'm going to write a novel, and I don't want to put any chapters in it. It's just going to be one long book, kind of doing things his own way. The amount of awards this man has won for his writing, for his poetry, for all of his work in the literary space is amazing. It's incredible. And one of the reasons that he's been able to achieve all these things is, again, staying true to himself and demonstrating excellence on his own terms. And we can think of a ton of other examples as well, right? We have Rihanna, who they would have said, you're a singer. You can't get into business. Now she runs a multi-billion-dollar makeup company, right? Again, doing things on her own terms. We have Lil Nas X, Shabuzi, and Beyonce, right? You shouldn't be making country music, right? But they did it anyways, and they did it on their own terms. So much so that the Grammys had to create a separate category just for them, just for their kind of country music. So being able to continue to show excellence on your own terms is something that we've had to do as Black folks, and something that I think really is the hallmark of Black excellence. Black excellence isn't something you wait to grow into, it's something you live every day. Every time you bring your full self into what you do. You don't have to sound like anyone else. You don't have to move like anyone else. You just have to believe in your voice, your gifts, and your way, because that's what excellence looks like, our way. So, as we reflect on Black excellence, here's my challenge for you. Don't spend your life trying to fit into someone else's idea of what excellence is or what it should be. Build your own, because the world doesn't need another copy, it needs you. So, I ask you, what will you do today to be excellent?